Welcome everybody. Peace. Good morning, Grand Rising, top of the morning. How's everybody feeling today? Beautiful Monday morning. Just out going for my morning walk. I try to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Loosen up. And even if I just do this, it's just something to stay active. I had some geese that would follow me a few minutes ago, but they left now. But yeah, just out and about, walking, man, getting prepared for my work day, my work week actually, and trying to get ready for a new challenge. I'm so grateful for what I have, so grateful for everything I've accomplished, so grateful for everything God has blessed me with, even if it's something real small. I'm just thankful to Him for everything He's given me. Some things is really undeserving, but through His grace and His mercy, He's blessing me. Trust in the process. It gets tough at times. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be absolutely truthful. It gets tough. It's challenging because it's something different. It's something new for me. One of the things about change is painful because you have to make a lot of sacrifices. You have to let go of a lot of things that you're accustomed to doing. I was accustomed to getting things easy in a fast way, having my way all the time, and now I realize that there's a process that I have to go through in order to be successful, have real success. And it's a beautiful thing, man, to be on this side right here. And it's wonderful. Hello, good morning. Yep. So I'm so thankful, and I hope you'll be thankful wherever you're at in your life. Hopefully you're making changes for the better, and taking small steps. Those small steps count. What they do is they build momentum to give you the ability to make bigger steps. And God will see you through the rest. But the only thing that's constant in the universe is change. Nothing remains the same. It's either you're gonna get worse or you're gonna get better. You gotta make that decision on what it is you wanna do. I'm quite sure getting worse is not a pleasurable feeling, if you ask me. Quite sure it's the same for you, but decisions. You gotta make sacrifices. Sometimes we think that the things that we want is what we need. But it's the other way around. We gotta focus on the things that we need and worry about the things that we want later on. Once we focus on the things that we need and we acquire those things, then we get the pleasure from it. In the Holy Quran, most of you know I'm a member of the Nation of Islam, so that's a book that we follow, along with the Bible as well too. In the Holy Quran it says, surely with difficulty comes ease. Then it also says with difficulty comes ease. So, what that teaches is that when we're going through a difficulty, is not designed to make us fail or to bring us, unwanted pain and unbearable pain. It's designed to help to build character in each individual, to strengthen us to get ready for the next trial that's coming, because there's another one coming, and then another one after that, and another one after that. But the more we go through the trials and figure it out and don't take shortcuts, the more we strengthen ourselves, the more armor we have on ourselves. The scriptures of the Bible says, put on the whole armor of God. It didn't say put on a hat or a pair of shoes. It says the whole armor. So we have to start working towards putting on that whole armor. And it takes trial, it takes pain, it takes sometimes great misfortune, But God is the is the author of everything. He's in control of everything. So whatever is going on in our lives, he knows about it. So if we doing something right and he decides to put us to a trial, it's designed to help us to grow, to see if we really, 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 really want to change. Because sometimes we said we want to change, and we may sincerely mean that, but we don't want to go through the pain and the struggle of change. And I gotta say this, family, you know, it's gonna be hard to change without going through a struggle. You know, as I always say, man, for those of us that's still out in the underworld, still out in the streets, man, you know, I understand what you're going through. I understand, you know, you may be involved in this by circumstance, so you're trying to take care of your family, your children, or whatnot. And I understand all that, but try to find a way out, man. Try to find a way out, because when you look at you know, the end game, all of that, there's nothing good, you know, that can come from out of that. So when you know that and when you understand that, you have to love yourself enough to come from out of that and choose a better path that will give you real success. Because a car, you know, a Bentley, a Benz, a Maybach, or what have you, that's only temporary pleasure. You know, to go to the club, make it rain, you know, buy out the bar, that's only temporary pleasure. But then in the end, when they come knocking on your door and take it all from you, what do you really have? You got nothing left but pain, misfortune. So how is that real success? It's not, man. I'm a living example of that. And, you know, I tell a lot of people, you know, you know, I got to keep saying it. And I know people may not want to hear, but damn, I got to keep saying it. You know, I did 18 years straight in federal penitentiary. Why? Because I thought real success was me in the streets, hustling, taking shortcuts, doing it the way I felt was the best way to live life, right? And I went away for 18 long years, man. 18 long years. But it ain't just about doing the time. It's about getting better while you're doing the time, maturing, growing, learning from your mistake, and then being really committed to change. Because we could, you know, when we locked up, we sincerely don't want to be there. You know, at least the person that's in a right state of mind, they don't want to be there, and I can agree with that. But the question is, what are you doing to prevent yourself from not coming back? Because you got to do something. And the first thing you must do in order to give yourself a fighting chance not to come back is that you have to start making a change in your thinking. In your thinking. Your thinking patterns. And I had to do that. And it's tough because, you know, when you trying to make a change from that world into the real world, I'll say, you know, you're going to be battling with yourself. Damn, you know, man, these dudes going to think I went soft. Man, these dudes they're going to think like, damn, man, this dude he ain't on nothing. But guess what? I'm going to tell you this, man. I'm a living testimony of this, right? When you really committed to change and you sincere about it and you're not faking or straddling the fence, guess what? Them same men out there that you used to run the streets with, they going to respect you more. Because guess what? They want a way out. They want a way out of that. They just ain't built the courage up to do it yet. So when they see that example in you, it kind of gives them some sense of courage. Like, man, I might be able to do this, man. And they start tipping their hat to you like, bro, man, I tip my hat to you, man. I don't know how you do it, but damn, man, you doing it, man. What's the formula? You know, you kind of get that. And then, you know, you have some that really want to stay where they at. And that's part of life, you know. Can't save them all, but the ones that you can save, the ones that want to listen, you got to go after them. You got to share your testimony to give them strength. Like, look, bro, I was there. I didn't do 1, 2 months, 3 months, 5 years in prison. I did 18 long years. That's, that's added up. You rounded up, that's 2 decades in prison. So I hope that these few words I share, whether you male or female, and you may not even be in the streets, but you may be struggling with bills. You may be struggling in a relationship. You just may be struggling in life in general. But know that you can come from out of it. You just have to make a change. Whatever you're going through, the only way that's going to get fixed, you have to start changing your thinking patterns, start changing the way you move, start changing the people that you've been centering yourself around. And then you start to see the change that you begging for. But you can't do it if you keep committing the same acts, involved in the same behaviors and whatnot. And God will see you through the rest. Never leave God out. I'm always say that. Never leave God out, because, that's who helped me in my darkest times in prison. And I had some pretty dark. I'm talking about so dark you couldn't even see light. And that's who got me through it. So, I hope that the few words I share will be some words of encouragement to anybody out there. If you don't want to hear it and you don't care to hear it, I still thank you too, because it gives me more reason to keep pushing. With that being said, as I always say, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you ain't already subscribed. It helps in the platform. And I'm gonna leave you as I always do. Always remember, your potential for greatness is unlimited.